Indy Mogul.
This week on Indie News, a look at the latest footage from the Digital Bolex. LucasFilm now doing VFX in real time, build your own Inception-style rotating room, an impressive zoom-style time-lapse, cool new features for YouTubers, plus how you, an Indie Moguler, could win at least $250. Hey Indie Mogulers, Griffin here. I am back from a really fun week in Los Angeles, wrapping up the filming of my Sriracha documentary. While I was there, I met up with Justin and Eric to watch their Pringles commercial during the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. premiere. And I have to give a shout out to my friend Marshall, who helped me during the documentary shoot. He's the one who thought to place the GoPro on the conveyor belt. He also joined me in the basement of the Warner Brothers prop department. We'll share that episode and much more starting this Friday for the entire month of Mogulween. In fact, stick around through the end of today's episode and I will share a special Mogulween video contest where one Indie Moguler will win a cash prize. This year, we've been following the progress of the Digital Bolex D16 camera. In January, we interviewed the creators. In March, we got our first hands-on. And this month, as the camera creeps closer to completion, they've released some test footage. Russell takes a closer look.
Earlier this month, the developers behind the Digital Bolex D16 cinema camera, a 2K camera that shoots raw video, released new test footage from the camera, and it looks great. The image is good and flat and gives a lot of room for color grading in post. It does help that this clip was shot in broad daylight, but even at night, and this shows one of the great strengths of raw video, at only 400 ISO they were able to achieve results like these. Joe Rubinstein, one of the camera's creators, noted in the comments section that the exposure was pushed several stops to get this image. You might notice some noise in the shots here or there, like in the sidewalk on this shot, but considering how far they pushed it, that amount of noise is pretty incredible. Also, one other thing, no more rolling shutter. I hate rolling shutter. It's like the bane of my existence, that jello effect. And I really like handheld cinematography, and you just can't do it with the DSLRs, not to the same degree anyway, so that's a big plus for me. The cost of the camera is going to be $3,300, which I know in the days of DSLRs sounds like a lot, but keep in mind that when I was first starting out in filmmaking for the first many years, that was pretty much the price of admission if you wanted a really high quality camera. Even my first HD camera, the Sony FX1, cost more than that. So $3,300 for a camera like this is perfectly reasonable, I think. And remember that you do get the solid-state hard drive built in for that price, and XLR audio inputs. Not to say I don't want to look into that $4,000 Blackmagic 4K camera too. I do, I really do. But there's nothing really out there yet to let me know what I can do with it. But Digital Bolex posted 2 brief clips that you can check out on their website and play around with. But you'll need a way to grade the raw files and then output them to work within your video editor. If you have the Adobe Creative Suite, that's my recommendation, as you can drag the DNG files into Photoshop to use Camera Raw to grade one frame of the shot, then synchronize them all and output them as image files. Then you can import them as an image sequence on your timeline in Adobe Premiere. You can also use Davinci Resolve Lite, a more complicated program, but it is free. Check it out, have fun grading the footage, and see how your computer handles it once it's finished. And let us know, do you think it's worth it to upgrade to these new digital cinema cameras from our old DSLRs? And if you are against it, what do cinema cameras have to do to convince you that they're worth it? Let us know in the comments below. Back to you, Griffin.
Thanks, Russell. I'm not sure I want to complicate my editing workflow with large raw files that need color grading 100% of the time, but I do want to try it out. That's why I ordered the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. It'll shoot 1080 video in RAW, but I still haven't received it yet. I can't believe it, but when it does get here, I'm excited to show you guys how it works. Many of you have lots of experience with visual effects, so you know how long it takes to tweak changes and then wait for rendering, but LucasFilm is changing all of that. They recently previewed this, a video game graphics engine using motion capture data to render real-time effects. Just imagine, as a cinematographer, you could see this virtual world while you're shooting. This could be the future of special effects filmmaking. Even with all of these technological advancements, some effects will just always be more fun to do practically, like Inception-style gravity tricks. Several amateur filmmakers in Indiana built a small room, attached a couple car rims for rotation, and hoisted it up with 2 forklifts to send this room into a spin. By locking the camera to one corner, they get this mind-boggling effect. While many videos this week show off the new iPhone's 120 frames per second recording capability, none are quite as innovative as this time-lapse shot with the Nokia 1020 smartphone. Filmmaker Paul Trillo braved New York City streets to capture 41 images. Taking advantage of the phone's 41 megapixel camera, he stitched them together for an infinite zoom effect that's unlike any time-lapse that I've ever seen. YouTube this week has 3 announcements that you should know about. One is that Top Fans, a feature I've been beta testing for a few weeks, is officially available. If you look in your video manager under Community, you can now see who your most engaged fans are at the moment, and add them to a Google Plus circle so you can share exclusive content. Number 2, for a while YouTube has had a large music library in case you want to swap out all of the audio in your YouTube video. But this week they've launched a new audio library for creators who want to download and manipulate the music first. It's 150 tracks that you are free to use anywhere, even outside of YouTube. In fact, you're hearing one of these tracks right now. With only 150 tracks, some might become too recognizable if we all choose to use them, so if you're an artist, maybe you'd like to add your music to the library. I'm sure it'll grow, and it's just one more option for filmmakers looking for royalty-free music. Finally this week, YouTube has launched their first MOOC. That's a massive open online course. It's a free 3-week program that'll teach you how to maximize your YouTube channel. And it starts today. You can sign up using the link on the screen or in this video's description. This Friday, we will launch Mogulween, a month of horror-themed content here on Indy Mogul. But today I want to preview a Halloween-themed video contest with a special prize just for Indy Mogulers. Our friends at Project Ed are looking for talented filmmakers to help teach vocabulary to a younger audience in a way that's cooler than in the classroom. So they're asking you to take one of their 10 vocabulary words, spooky words like insidious, and use that to inspire a 1-minute short film. You're competing against the public for a $1,000 grand prize, but they also have a special Indy Mogul only prize. One Indy Moguler will walk away with $250. I'll share more details this Friday and my best tips for how I think you can win this contest. But I wanted to share this briefly today just because there are only 3 weeks to enter, so get your creative engine started. You can find information about this video contest in the video description. On today's playlist, I am in a video about Justin and Eric's commercial airing on network TV, LucasFilm's real-time visual effects, behind the scenes on the Nokia Infinite Zoom shoot, and the announcement video for this Halloween video contest. In our last video, Russell talked about his short film, Angel of the City, and I asked him why his stand-up shot of himself looks so sharp. It's because he's using his new Voigtlander 25mm lens, so you should go back and check it out. And this Friday, we'll officially launch Mogulween for the entire month of October. Thanks for watching, everyone.